Something smooth yet sinister, coming through to diminish you. And this here's the finisher. Check it out.
What is going on, guys? Trey coming back at your screen by means of the World Wide Web. And today what I'm going to do for you guys, I'm going to get into a little bit of a series here, okay? What I want to do for you guys is get into a top 5 units. And I'm going to start right in the order here as it is in game. I'm going to go by element, guys, alright? So this video is going to be what I think the top 5 fire elements are and why I think that. And then next one water, next one earth, so on and so forth, all the way until we finish up with dark units, alright? Which, if you don't know, is your boy's favorite. It's all about Team Dark, baby. But anyway, this video is going to be talking about the top 5 fire units, guys, okay? Now, just to let you guys know right up front, this video is pretty much opinionated, guys, alright? These are the top 5 units as far as fire element that I think are pretty much the best in their element in Global Brave Frontier as of this day, which, as of recording this video, is February 13th, 2016, alright? So, take a look at this list, guys. If you want to know what's cracking in the Department of Fire Element units, you are definitely going to want to have your hands on these top 5 units, okay? So we're going to start bottom to top. Going to start with number 5 and then work our way up to number 1 and discuss each of these units and as to why they are considered my top 5. Alright, so coming in at 5th, we got the main man right here. Alright, so number 5, or the 5th best fire element unit in Global Brave Frontier, in my opinion, is right here, guys. Alright, I give that spot to Ultor. Now, here's why. Alright, now, as far as his leader skill, it's this unit you're not really going to be using for his leader skill, guys. Alright, there's not really too many places where it's considered the most useful. Alright, so you won't be using it for his leader skill too much. What helps to make Ultor shine, alright, and why I still use him on my arena squad to this day, is his extra skill, guys, alright? This guy, Soul of the Ancient, 40% boost to attack and defense, and renders self able to withstand 1 KO attack when Blades of Ultor is equipped, which is his sphere right here I have equipped, alright? Blades of Ultor is a sphere of his, boosts his attack and defense by 30%, his critical hit rate by 10%, and his critical damage. Alright, so that extra skill in arena is mad OP, guys. Alright, in the event that he does get attacked or you get hit with a SBB or something like that, if it happens, unless it's super duper strong, I mean it really has to be strong, his extra skill is going to activate, and when it does, he's not going to die. He's going to go all the way down to 1 HP. Alright, the enemy's turn is going to be over, and then he's going to heal right back to full HP when your turn comes around again. Alright, now granted, that extra skill is useful anywhere, guys. Alright, that's very useful. Quite a few people still use Ultor for raid battle, which I do think he's useful for it, but I mainly use him for arena, and he wrecks in arena, believe me. I mean, look at that attack and that defense, guys. Like, that attack alone is just pure wreckage, guys. Like, whoever he attacks, unless they're water element, I can pretty much say they're gonna die. Alright, he's very strong. Okay, so that's why Ultor is good. Now his BB and his SBB, they power him up quite a bit. Alright, now his BB is single target. Alright, it casts taunt on himself, boosts his own defense, and then he does a DOT attack for 1 turn. A pretty powerful one. Alright, his SBB is really good now because it's an AoE. Still get that taunt and that massive boost to his defense, but he also boosts attack for 1 turn. Alright, and critical damage for 3 turns. Alright, so he basically turns himself into a damage absorbing tank, guys. Alright, now granted, there isn't really too many things outside of raid and arena that taunt is going to be useful for. Alright, it does have its handiness, but it's not something that's really ultra useful anymore. But he does turn himself into a massive damage absorbing tank, guys. Like, he's He's hard to take down once he activates his BB or SBB. All right. Now his UBB is powerful as well, guys. All right, especially if you can get those 3 hits to spark. He does a tremendous amount of damage. Tremendous amount of damage. All right. So Ultor is that guy. All right. He also does damage mitigation with that UBB, only for 1 turn. So you're not really going to be using him for that, as there are many other units that mitigate 75% for more than 1 turn. All right. So you're not going to be using him for that, I hope, unless this is the only one you got that does it. But other than that, we put Ultor in at the number 5 spot for those reasons, though, guys. He's just a tank, guys. He hits hard and he has high defense, so he can take a lot of damage as well. He can take a lot of damage. He can give a lot of damage. All right. And in the event that he does get wrecked, he can stay alive for 1 turn thanks to his extra skill. So Ultor definitely deserves that number 5 spot. Very, very solid fire unit, guys. Okay. Alright, now number 4 spot, in my opinion, you're going to scroll on down in our fire element units here and pass all my burst frogs. And we're going to give the number 4 spot to Adele. Alright, so Adele, this guy is pretty nice. I don't really have too much of his stuff unlocked, but he's pretty nice. His leader skill, I don't think is something you're really going to be using too much. It's definitely not bad, okay? His leader skill is not bad by any means, all right? But what automatically gives Adele favor, in my opinion, is he's a mitigation unit, all right? He does mitigate, as you can see here. So mitigation units, they pretty much automatically get like a +1 to everything, all right, just because they are a mitigation unit. For pretty much all of the content in Global Brave Frontier, or in any Brave Frontier, global, European, whatever, for any content nowadays, like any moderately to very hard, difficult type content, you are most definitely going to be needing some mitigation, and this guy can provide it for you along with a few goodies, okay? Believe it or not. So as far as the BB, he boosts spark damage by a little, all right, does that damage mitigation, and does a little bit of an AoE attack, all right. Now for the SBB, you got 16 hit AoE attack, you got that damage mitigation still 50% for 1 turn, but he also throws, in addition to spark damage, HOT into the mix, all right. And for lengthy content, HOT is very useful. It's pretty much required on some of the more recent trials, like for example the Paris trial. It will help you tremendously to have it. Now if you watch my video, I did complete it without HOT, all right. Now that was simply because of a slight oversight. I knew I needed it, I just arranged a team that didn't give it like an idiot. But it is something that is very helpful, guys, okay. So you can use him for Paris trial if you need to, all right. He'll be pretty nice for it. Now his extra skill, which I don't have because I'm not done leveling his BB yet, his extra skill, damage taken, slightly boosts BB gauge, all right. So he's going to get that BB gauge boost when he gets attacked, which for a mitigation unit is critical. When you need mitigation every turn, an extra skill like that is definitely going to come in handy. So this guy can mitigate, he can increase spark damage, he can give you HOT. If you put him as lead, he's got a pretty nice leader skill. So Adele holds down the number 4 spot for a really good reason. I don't have it here as well. I'll go ahead and let you guys know what his UBB is. It's called Supremacy Cardinal Gene. 21 combo massive fire attack on all foes. Hugely boosts spark damage for 3 turns and reduces damage taken by 75% for 2 turns. Alright. So in the event that you don't have a unit that can decrease damage by 75% for 3 turns, this guy is not a bad substitute. He can do it for 2 turns, alright. Not necessarily 3, which is way better, but it's something. Alright. So that's why we gave Adele the number 4 spot, guys. Mitigation unit, definitely a good thing. So Next unit in line for the number 3 spot as far as fire units, we're going to go to my baby, Miss Vermillion. Alright, so number 3 spot is going to go to Rider Empress Vermillion. Alright, and here's why. Alright, first of all, I love her HP, guys, okay? As you can see here, I have a Guardian type. And my Guardian type still has over 7k HP. Alright, there's quite a bit of units that can only achieve more than 7k with anima only. Alright, her anima type, you're going to be just under 8k on the HP. So I'm really loving her max HP. Beautiful thing right there. Alright, now let's talk about the leader skill. Now her leader skill is good. And it pairs perfectly, I mean perfectly, with her BB and SBB. And here's why, guys, okay? Now, you see the leader skill restores HP and BB gauge each turn. Damage taken boosts BB gauge and may restore HP. So she's giving you HP and BB every turn. In addition to that, every time you get attacked, you're going to get BB gauge and you might also get some HP. And that is what Vermillion is all about, guys. Basically what her leader skill says is what she is all about. It's the same with her BB, even her extra skill. I'm not done with it yet. I almost say I'm just 3 more levels. I'll have that finished up pretty soon. But her extra skill, I'll go ahead and tell you guys, it's called Proud Aspirations, Probable Slight HP Recovery, and Probable BB Gauge Boost when attacked. Alright, now that's on herself, but still lines up beautifully with her leader skill. And then look at her BB and SBB. Alright, gradually restores HP and BB gauge for 3 turns and slightly boosts BB gauge. And then on her SBB, it does pretty much the same thing, except it does more damage. Alright, her SBB does significantly more damage because the more HP she has, the more powerful it is. Alright, and in addition to that, instead of just giving you BB gauge, for 3 turns, when you get attacked, you're getting BB gauge. Alright, so BB gauge over time, BB gauge when you get attacked, healing when you get attacked, healing over time. She excels at it, guys. Okay, she is the bee's knees when it comes to that, and that's why she's such a useful unit, guys. Alright, many people have been using her in the more recent content because she's that good. She comes in very handy for being able to keep HP high and BB gauge high. Okay, so you're probably not going to be using her too much for leader skill. It is good, but most people nowadays use leader skills that boost stats. Alright, so you may not be using her for that aspect that much, but she is a very good sub unit because you're talking BB gauge and HP on deck. Alright, on deck with this unit. So that is why she's very good. I also let you guys know what her UBB is because I don't have it unlocked here. But it's called Lava Beast Vermillion, 22 combo massive fire attack on all foes, fully restores HP and gradually restores BB gauge for 3 turns, and slight probability of raising allies from KO. Alright. I don't think there's really, I think there's one more unit in Global Brave Frontier. Leader skill only though, that is able to revive a dead unit. And it's only with their leader skill. They don't have it on the BB SBB. And I believe it's Lamera. Alright, the fire unit, Lamera, I believe her leader skill is able to revive a dead unit, if I understand it correctly. But as far as being able to do it with a UBB, she's the only unit in Global Brave Frontier right now that can do that, to my knowledge. So yeah, that also makes her very powerful for say you're doing a trial and you're fresh out of revives, man. You done used all your revive lights, all your crescent dues. Pop her UBB. You may be able to get that unit up. Alright, so that's very useful stuff, guys. And on top of that, when she does revive that unit, they're going to go right up to full HP at the end of the turn because of the UBB. So she's good, guys. Very solid unit. Definitely deserves that number 3 spot. Alright, number 2 spot, in my opinion, just roll right on back up past the burst frogs and all that. Number 2 spot, I'm going to go to this guy right here. Alright. Number 2, going to Indomitable Flare Griff. Alright, so My Griff is set up this way because I mainly use him for Frontier Gate farming, guys. That's pretty much the most use you're going to get out of this unit at this point. But Griff I have in second place because this guy is all about the crit. Alright, he's all about criticals. So if you need to deal some damage, you won't be doing anything bad if you use this unit for that. Alright, so you see here, these are the spheres I got on them, like I said, because I use them for Frontier Gate farming. So I need pure raw damage out of this guy. And yes, he does deliver pure raw damage, guys, especially with this kind of setup. Okay, so Griff coming through strong with those spheres. But anyway, his leader skill is pretty decent. Okay, guys, he got the stat boost there, 30% to HP and attack, which is great. He greatly boosts critical damage, and he also boosts BB gauge for the entire squad. Every time you get a critical hit, boom, that's BB gauge. I believe the amount is 6 to 8 BCs worth. So pretty good stuff there. Now, what makes Griff so good, in addition to what his BB and SBB can already do, alright, his extra skill allows him to give a 60% crit hit rate boost to his BB and SBB. Makes him a very solid critical unit, guys. Now granted, he's outclassed pretty much completely by a recently released light unit by the name of Roosh. Alright, but before Roosh was released, this was your go-to guy for crit, guys. Okay, he was the man, and he still is very solid. Okay, now I got a L gift on him that give him a little bit of a better crit hit rate. Alright, nothing super fancy. It's only a level 1 L gift. That's all I've been getting from farming that freaking Vortex dungeon. But it helps him do even more criticals, okay, which is good. More damage, baby. Now, the BB SBB, now, still solid. Alright, they're both AoE. They both add the fire and water elements to your attacks. And they both also boost critical damage for 3 turns, alright. The SBB just also tacks on a 30% boost in BB gauge fill rate, which is very useful. Alright, you fill up that BB gauge faster. So this guy, even with his UBB, it's all about crit. Alright, so that UBB, he hugely boosts critical damage, and then he also boosting that attack relative to max HP. So if you need some damage done, you're gonna want someone, if not Griff, someone better than Griff in your squad as far as what he do. Because he's one of the few units able to boost crit rate and crit damage. We don't have too many units capable of doing both, guys, okay? So that's also what makes him good. So you need straight up raw critical damage. You want this man in your squad or one of the better units, alright? Comparable units to Griff. Roosh, I think is better. I think Roosh is the better unit than him. But you also got Reese as well, the dark unit, Reese. He's pretty good for it as well. Griff, I think, is better than Reese. But if you need someone to do some critical work, Reese is not a bad choice as well. He's also a unit that's able to do crit rate and damage by himself. Okay, so Griff for the win, solidly deserves that number 2 spot. Now the number 1 spot, I'm pretty sure won't come to a surprise, as a surprise to most of you guys. Alright, it's going to Avant. Alright, number 1 spot is going to be Avant. Alright, so I also use him in my Frontier Gate squad. That's why I got him set up with these spheres. With these spheres, man, this guy has, without any buffs, like just under 15k attack, which is crazy. Crazy. And that's mainly due to his extra skill. But let's talk about that. His leader skill got the stat boost, which is pretty much essential to most content, most of the more difficult content anyway. 30% boost to the max HP, which is excellent. Now this guy is good because he pretty much boosts damage in just about every way you can think of. Alright, he's boosting critical damage, he's boosting spark damage, he's boosting your BB attack, which is more damage. Alright, now his extra skill makes him pretty good as well, okay, called Flame of Atonement. He basically boosts his attack, guys. Now if you want to put the Dandelga sphere on, you will get a 20% boost to all stats. Alright, the reason I got a Sky Harbinger on him is because I need him to be focused on straight up attack. Alright, like I said, I use it for Frontier Gate farming. I need high attack and that's it. Nothing else really matters to me in Frontier Gate because I'm OTKing all but one level, I believe, which I only OTK maybe 50% of the time. But so I only need raw attack. The rest of his stats pretty much don't matter to me. Defense, recovery, none of it. It doesn't matter. I just need pure raw attack, alright? And that's what you're going to get from his extra skill. He boosts his attack twice, guys, alright? Boosts his attack relative to remaining HP and boost it some more when his BB gauge is full, okay? So this guy is going to do damage, alright? It also helps with his BB and SBB, alright? With the BB, you're going to get an attack and a crit hit rate boost, okay? So that's definitely going to help increase the damage for the squad. And then with his SBB, you're going to get that spark vulnerability boost, which means your spark damage is going to increase by about 25% for 2 turns. And then he also boosts that attack relative to max HP and the BB attack. Alright, so this guy is pure damage, guys. And then the UBB Final Soul Breaker, that massive fire attack on all enemies. If he has full HP, that's when you're going to get the most out of that UBB. Boosts critical spark damage and BB attack for 3 turns, which lines up perfectly with his leader skill. Alright, so if you got him as lead and you popping off that UBB, you are going to get damage on a level which you've never seen, guys. Alright, this guy is the #1 spot because he is all about dealing damage. You want high damage dealt, you want this guy as your leader, period. Alright, he does the damage, guys, okay? And that's what gives Avant the #1 fire unit spot, in my opinion, in Global Brave Frontier. This guy is just raw damage in a nutshell, guys. Damage waiting to be unleashed upon your enemies, alright? So, if you got Avant, you're going to be doing some serious damage, alright? I was very ecstatic when I got my Avant. I didn't even farm Frontier Gate until I got my Avant, which Avant I got from my unit of choice. When they was giving out the free units a little while back, I picked the Anima Avant as my unit of choice. And boy, I am more than happy that I did, because this unit is just solid. Very solid unit, guys, okay? So, that's going to wrap up the top 5, guys, but I do have a honorable mention, alright? I'm also going to be doing one honorable mention at the end of every video, alright? And I'll tell you why. So the honorable mention for me, in my opinion, this video goes to this guy right here. Okay, as far as an honorable mention for one of the top fire units of Global Brave Frontier right now, I give it to Corazon. Alright, now he is good. Alright, don't get me wrong, this guy, he's all about crit too. Now he's all about crit and dealing damage. As you can see, I got his sphere on him. Alright, his sphere giving him a 30% boost to attack and HP, boosting his crit hit rate, and also boost attack when his BB gauge is full. His leader skill also caters to that. 40% boost to attack and max HP, greatly boost crit damage, and boosting BB gauge when attack and BB gauge, or boost attack when BB gauge is full. Alright, now his extra skill boosts his BB attack even more when he has his sphere equipped here, the Vulcan Axe. Alright, now this is, in my opinion, why this guy is an honorable mention. I do like his BB and his SBB, alright? His BB adds defense ignore, gives you a boost to your attack and crit hit rate, and then he also partially restores his own BB gauge by roughly 30%, I believe. The SBB, alright, is boosting critical damage, is boosting attack relative to HP for 3 turns, and it boosts the entire squad's max HP, and I believe that's by 10%. Alright, his UBB hits pretty hard as well. 2-hit massive fire attack, boosts critical damage and attack relative to max HP for 3 turns, and then massively boosts his own max HP. Alright, now what gave this guy honorable mention to me is because I think this unit is a little bit backwards. I think he gets more use in raid battle than anything else, honestly, guys. He may be decent for a trial, but it's mostly raid battle where you're going to be using this guy, if you use him at all. Main reason being, the way his BB and SBB and UBB works, the lower his HP is, his current HP, the more damage it does. And I see that as a little bit of a drawback than anything else. I would much more rather it be that it did more damage when he has higher HP. Alright, but this guy's the opposite. The lower his HP is, the more BB attack. Okay, so I'm not really a fan of that, honestly. I only see use for it, like I said, in raid battle. And if you use this guy in the trial, which he can be usable in the trial, maybe there. But it's only the lengthy battles where you're going to be getting hit pretty hard, where BB and SBBs like that will be useful. Alright, otherwise, not so much. Okay, so that's why I gave him honorable mention. He is a good unit, guys, but that just doesn't really sit well with me. And that doesn't make him one of my top 5 units. A good one, but just not one of my top 5. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the top 5 fire units, guys. Okay, I am planning to do this for each and every element, so stay tuned. Next video, we're going to consider the top 5 water units, in my opinion. Okay, so that's going to wrap this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed it, found it helpful, informative. If you wish to join the Facebook group, link down below in the description. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Please continue to like, subscribe, favorite, share, comment, and everything else. And of course, I'll be back at your screen with more Brave Frontier Global soon. Later, guys.